Kirby, let's kind of, before we get into all your slides, and there's a lot of like amazing stuff. I'm really excited about this. I mean, I think, for me, when we find someone who has gone from, 4 agents when you started with Ylopo, and now you're at how many agents?
We're at 21 once they're allowed to sign with our division here, once they come out of lockdown.
Got it. 21, and then sort of coronavirus aside, where do you think what are your goals? Where do you think you'd be by the end of the year in terms of the size of your team, and then maybe, even by the end of next year?
50 minimum by the end of the year. I was goal of 50 by June, and then everything kind of got locked down because we were already on track with those 21. And then once I hit 50, then I'll have to systematize a little bit more with admin, and then I want to go 100, 150.
So the point that I want to make to everybody in the audience is, a lot of times, I'll get the, sort of critique like, hey, Howard, we went to the Success Summit, but a lot of people up on stage have big teams, and I'm just a small team. It's just me and 3 other people. Well, guess what? You're talking to someone today who was himself and a few other people.
Yeah.
Now, not everyone needs to have, the desire to go to 20 people. Not everybody wants to manage 20 people. That's okay. But he still had, if he wanted to stay at 4, 5, 6 people, he would have massive success there. He's decided that on the back of Ylopo, or working in partnership with Ylopo, he's going to go to 20, he's going to go to 40, he's going to go to 60, he's going to keep doing that. So Kirby, how did you find out about Ylopo? When did that all happen?
It was mine and my wife's 4-year wedding anniversary. She's into fitness, and we end up at Venice Beach. And I did a tag, or we posted a picture, and Head of Parashows, who is a friend of mine I kind of knew through Zillow, was there because her son just made her do a quick trip from San Diego. And so we met, and I was kind of telling her about my experience with past Zillow stuff. And she was like, what do you know about Ylopo? And I'm like, the heck's Ylopo? And I'm like, and then she shows me her phone blowing up from the past Zillow clients and all the retargeting and the stuff. It's everything I've been trying to build in my head for the last 5 years, and I don't got a G. So I was just throwing money out the door, kind of keeping good with the pace with things. We were a little bit ahead, but we became a dinosaur.
Wow. Someone just chimed in, Hedda deserves a bonus, which she does.
Yeah.
Like I always say, it's like, it's a game of inches. What if her son had been doing something else and didn't bring her up to Venice? And what happens if you had gone to a different place and not Venice? It's kind of crazy how the world works, right? So the stars were aligned. You found out about it.
I said it that night. We got back, and she's like, holy crap, your brain is going again. Like, I was sitting there, we didn't even go anywhere. I just was like scribbling stuff.
Yeah, this is how things go. So, so awesome. So let's dive in, I think. Let's dive into the presentation. We're welcoming questions. Better for us, guys, if you can write your questions in the Q&A section. Leave your comments in the chat section, and most of your questions, or all of your questions, in the Q&A section, and Kiwi and Barry and G and I will be paying attention to those. But Kirby's got a lot to present.
So I want to show this off real quick.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So if you got, this is pages come pages of Barry, Robbie T, Chet Black, G, Howard. This is the summit. And so this was the roadmap once I got back.
So everybody, the first thing to write down, which is, when we do have a summit again, when we have an online Ylopo Academy live, when we have a summit, you guys are doing the right things showing up here, right? You're going to take away some stuff. You're going to make more money by showing up here. You pat yourself on the back. But don't ever miss a summit. Like, I cannot tell you, I've been doing this for a long time, 2 companies, every single time we do it, people literally change their business and their lives forever. So never miss a summit. Okay, let's roll.
So I'm going to do share.
Cool.
All right, so pre-Ylopo, like I said earlier, was never able to figure out retargeting. I'd spent thousands upon thousands, and with different online sources saying they did it. Even Cox, who was trying to do it, and it just wasn't the same because it wasn't a one whole. You had to do like 10 different pieces. And so with Ylopo, it's like one, which is awesome. But before, I spent a lot of money on retargeting. We were very successful with the first wave of internet leads from like 2012 to about 2017. But then everything had started changing. And so my own custom CRM and all these leads I had got, it started going to a slump. And so I'd constantly been trying other things, like from a Monday Night Football commercial, billboards, every other online lead source out there. And they all failed. They get impressions of them, but they couldn't actually get a lead. And then when they did get a lead, was it just to a landing page? It was totally different setup. So I couldn't get anything though prior from any of those sources. Zillow always was the only one. And I hated it though, because I knew I can't rely on one thing for my business. And it just kind of was like going that way. So I was just exhausted. I had 4 agents. We had larger teams prior, but the waves of real estate, things had changed. And I have 4 very loyal agents that had stuck with me. It was Mikey Del Rosario, Kevin Cotton, Delmia Bitia, and Aaron Lopez. And they've been with me their whole 4 or 5 years now. No, we're going on almost 6 years. Very hard to have that. But had a custom built CRM. It took too much time too, because I didn't have a G. So I was paying a guy in Pakistan and trying to understand code and how to take my idea. Didn't know if I was getting charged right or not. It's about $2,000 a month just in development to try to keep up with everything changing constantly out there. I averaged about 10 to 15K a year on my own Facebook, Google, and Zilch results. Never got anything as far as actual customers wanting my assistance, not just impressions. And my Zillow spend currently it was about 5K. We were though one of the first ones we were at 40K a month back in the day. But then there was no systems, no stuff. So honestly, what's amazing about that 40K a month then is now it's being nurtured from 6 years ago, 8 years ago, my clients from Ylopo, from those past Zillow leads. So that's like the retargeting big piece to me.
So quick question for you, Kirby.
Yes.
With the Zillow spend and just it sounds like it was from 2014, it was a big part of your business, and it looks like over time it slowly transitioned. Was that difficult at all as far as growing pains? And
so, and it scares you too, because you go from, that 2014, when I was at that spend, it was when they first came out with co-marketing, and I had a huge percentage, almost 90% being paid co-marketing. But the problem was we didn't have the systems or things to take care of the clients. But then they went market-based pricing. And when market-based pricing happened, the prices just went astronomical. I luckily had another product that was grandfathered in that's a better price per lead, but very top of funnel with them. And we tried all the other stuff too, as far as we were on. I mean, that 40K, you got to include when they tried video, it was like 2015, I think it was. And so like of 40, I was probably 5 or 6K in the video that they didn't really get anything. It was just branding, but I didn't produce anything even with them.
Okay.
So,
no, that makes sense.
Their products change.
Well, I just talked to so many agents that have a lot of trouble transitioning from Zillow to other lead sources. Like you were spending $10,000 to $15,000 a year on Facebook and Google with no results. Yeah. And I would say that seems to be a theme, but I don't want to disrupt your whole thing, but I do that a lot.
And that's where it was like frustrating, because like I'm like, I can't just rely on one source. Even realtor.com, I had a fight with them because they were sending me for example, in my San Diego office, I was paying $100 a lead, and it was a timeshare for $100,000 they were sending me right there in PB, average price 600,000, and 6 months of paying, $6,000 a month. So it was just, and then billboards, commercials, and I ran 6-month campaigns. I like nothing. So I tried the old school stuff. I'm an internet leads guy. I just wanted to break my, I guess you could say, golden chain from Zillow. Nothing wrong with them. That's where the consumer goes. But I need a brand. Like the only way to be stable in the future and have a career and have all my agents have a career in this. So after 1 year, so we met in April. April 20th, my wife, 420, didn't know what 420 meant then. We educated her that day in Venice. Her son did. Her son's like, really, Mom? But so I think I started Ylopo 427 is once they, because we had to switch everything. And I had to switch also from my own custom CRM with Slacker and switch all the way over Follow Boss. So it was like a complete, but my team did great on it. And the thing started hitting from the imports like instantly, because we imported 20,000 people then from my past book of business. And then though, I'll tell you, I didn't know how important the retargeting was. It took about 3 months of seeing priority alerts and them hitting from people from 6 years ago that weren't in my CRM anymore, that my agents had deleted because they said, oh, this, shitty lead or whatever. But then because I was able to pull it from Zillow and import it in there, they came back alive. And that's the hugest part for me, is so much money I spent before and lost now is being cultivated back into income now due to the Ylopo gifts.
Yeah, so one of the biggest mistakes, guys, you can write it down. One of the biggest mistakes is every single time an agent tells me, oh yeah, we don't need to like import those leads for remarketing because they're really old. Right? Which doesn't make any sense. Okay. Because if someone just bought, and sold a year ago, what's the likelihood they're going to buy and sell again? But if somebody's bought and sold 6 years ago, statistically, they're actually ready to buy and sell again. So I would argue that in many ways, the older the lead, the better. And again, we don't talk about leads. We talk about relationships. These are lifetime relationships. And in the old days, in the old sort of top producer days, it was like lifetime relationship stuff with like postcards and here's my brownie recipe mix and look at my new, Labrador retriever and all that. But now it's not like you can stay in touch with someone forever. And when they're ready, they will indicate it, right? We have all the tech for it. They're going to come back. They're going to search. Those folks that are not interested, they don't come back. But we just keep putting the lures in the water from an automatic standpoint, right? And those that are ready, they'll tell you.
Yeah, we keep, even when unless it's a bad phone number and email, even when someone says I'm interested realtor, they just move it. My agents move it to me. I have a retarget stage, and they just stay in there. So they keep seeing the stuff, and maybe we'll get them back. Remind, once I figured out the retargeting, Remind came out here, which is a farming tool, and our local association bought it for us. And you're able to go and get emails. And I think I was able to pull almost 10,000 emails 2 to 3 months ago of homeowners in Vegas. And so I've been remarketing to that. And we've converted, all I did is I took out all the phone numbers so I wouldn't have it text at all. But the moment they put in their phone number, once they got the alert, once they put in their phone number, then I put it to lead stage, so Raya kicks on, and then we move it to my agents. And we've converted about 300-400 of those already into working clients now.
And from a compliance standpoint, okay, you got to do what Kirby did, or take out those phone numbers, because you don't want to send a text to somebody that hasn't opted in. Okay, they've got to opt in through the remarketing. They'll fill out a privacy policy thing again, and now you can market to them. Okay, do not import a huge database of phone numbers and text those people. That's a huge,
and the thing is, we will import them for remarketing. I've seen good results from that, as Kirby said, but we also won't import them for email as well as for seller alerts, because what we're finding is that if you email to an audience that doesn't have any relationship with you, you have a really high spam rate, right? So, there is some guardrails around this. Importing it for remarketing, waiting for them to provide a phone number, fantastic way to supplement your database. Just, don't email or text them.
Cool. All right, let's keep moving it along, guys. I want to get into the good stuff here.
So here's a real quick TCPA. I have this on my desk, show it to every agent. $500 per call, $40,000 per text. So don't do it. Awesome. Do it strategic. It's right there on the front of my desk. Anytime someone tries sitting down and saying, hey, I'm going to do the old coach way of cold calling or expires, I don't condone those because I don't want those fines. Nope. I really just pay for them. So 140 sites for $35 million we did from April to now. Our goal is 300 sites this year for 75. We doubled down in this last couple months, even though we all got kind of stuck and buyers got timid because of everything. I actually put more into remarketing. I went more into the Google. And we have, my agents have so many people right now chomping at the bit. So I still think we're going to hit our 375 million for the year.
Awesome.
Once the doors are fully open for everybody. And the biggest thing with Vegas is they got to be able to have lodging, because we got a lot of relocator and all the hotels are closed. So that's where we've had a hit. 520 agents. So I got 5 right after Summit, kind of, and then it was like 3 to 4 agents a month, and then right before lockdown, I have 5 coming on right now that we just can't. In Nevada, you have to sign up paperwork, and the other broker has to, and the division's closed, so we've been stuck right there. They just reopened, but now it's getting other brokers. So we're at 21. This is all just off of my confidence in the Ylopo systems that I'm not going to lose my ass as I build this with how I spend in it and stuff, and that it's building a brand for my agents. So that's why I'm going to retain them. And that's the biggest piece I had to learn from the summit was get constant agents, but you have to retain them. And to retain them, you have to show value. And the system shows value times 10. And every 2 weeks, G and Barry and Howard, they're freaking giving us something else new. So it never stops. I keep updating my recruiting deck when I can sit with someone again physically. I update this thing like every week. It feels like before the lockdown.
Guys, huge takeaway, right? If you want to really recruit the best, okay, our best clients are using all the stuff they have because your competition doesn't have it, and they're using that in their presentation to the agents, and those agents are like, wow, okay, if I go to Kirby's team, I'm going to get all that. Kirby's paying for it. I'm going to get all of it. I'm going.
Yep. And that's how I show the value during my presentation for my split and how I get through it. DyVa, 2 million branding. So DyVa, everybody talked about video, but other than right now, and I'm getting better at Facebook Live, I suck at video, but I know from all these years of spending all this money into video is king. So when they announced it at Summit, I was like mind blown. I'm like, no freaking way. Brilliant. And I think G then told us normal for the carousel was $50 got you 100 people, where DyVa for 50 or 65 gets you 4,000. And that was like, I was like, no brainer. So the moment DyVa launched, I went and did every single video, because prior the rockets too would go part of your buyer budget. So my first 2 days actually on Ylopo, I already spent my whole budget because I went and put every single listing on the listing rocket, and then it all spent it. So that's what I love about DyVa is I'm able to control the spend based off of the production, because you never know how many buyers you're gonna have or how many listings you're gonna have with your team. You have how I have it set up now that the listing spend for me is a totally separate budget than my acquisition of buyers. And that's what's good, what I like about it. No MLS searches. So the moment I switched to these systems, I saw Ryan, I saw the branded sites, and I saw how each team member got their name with the branded sites and how everything goes back as long as you have the link going to it, and then it retargets even more. I did away with our local MLS. I push my agents. I'll watch their follow-up boss. So I watch them on their follow-up boss, and if they are doing it, I just coach them along like, hey, get it on alert. You want them just seeing your face every time. You don't want them seeing that search and then going to Zillow and going to here. And Howard said that summer. You don't want them going 3-4 different places. You want them just to see you. And that way it brands you as the agent. Do everything.
So wait a second. Hold on. So that agents don't do this enough. They don't put their leads on the stars search. Now, what about the nuance of it's an active client, they're showing homes? Are you still encouraging your agents to use the stars and the Ylopo searches?
We flipped them all. Yeah.
Okay. And if you're missing, have you had any instances where you're missing an amenity or something like that, and then you go back to Ylopo and they customize it or tweak it at all?
Yes. It was when I first started. It's something with one of the financing terms, and they fixed it so I could do the cash only, I think it was. Other than that,
all right, so
nothing. And with the internet leads, like a lot of them, I put it as a general, and how I coach to talk to the client. Like if they say, oh, I want this specific, hey, no problem, I'm going to send you this. It's going to be more of a shotgun blast. You can go in there and edit the search to your liking, because you're in control with my website, not me. You're in control as the client. And so that's how we kind of like coach them, because there's always going to be some weird, like we used to REO days. It was like price per square foot is this, that. The reality though is then they'd want the house that wasn't that price per square foot, and they only saw it because they went on Zillow. So I'd rather them see it on our site.
So just a big takeaway for those of you watching, we're talking about driving traffic and the consumers to your website. He's telling his agents to use the Ylopo search instead of the MLS. And you notice I asked a very specific question. There was something in his MLS that wasn't, as far as a search field, that was not in the Ylopo site. He contacts Ylopo. Ylopo makes an adjustment. I'm not guaranteeing that that's always going to be the case, but the norm is if there is a field in your MLS that's mappable, the IDX team can get it to where there's parity. You want the consumer on your website. Stop allowing them to go to others. Okay, sorry, I keep interrupting.
Hey guys,
Oh, no.
time check here. We're on like slide 2 and we're 24 minutes in. So
right.
we got to keep moving.
So promote every just listed sold. That's kind of like my thing with the divas. From Summit, I switched to Robbie T's method. Thank God he sent us that Google Sheets, and I went and I plugged it fully into Follow Boss. So our whole action plan, this is all Robbie T's method to the T from the Summit with all the gifts and everything. And then also Barry has one. I just didn't have that once I built that. So with Ylopo, you guys get 2 different great coaches methods that work, and then you can adjust them like I think Barry and Robbie. I always watch everything on the Ylopo Success Summit the community page, and they had adjusted it for COVID, even those lines, and I had done it and it got great stuff. The other thing for me was Cheplack. I've hated coaches my whole life, except for my football coaches, but as far as business coaches, and he just kind of struck me the right way, and he said a lot of things I really took back. One was, in my mind frame as a team leader or a broker, was why am I chasing a 10K commission on my own versus chasing a $100,000 agent? And you can't expect your agents, if you're going to expect your agents to make 40 calls a day, why are you not making 40 calls for recruits? And you have to look at it the same way. I never thought of it that way. So growth mindset versus surviving mindset is kind of what I switched to. Action plans with Smart List, focused on alerts. So we use Raya 100%. Everything hits lead stage and Follow Up Boss. As long as it's under lead stage, right here, Raya's interacting. The moment that person comes in contact with that client or with any kind of connection, they switch this to buyer, seller, whatever they're going to do for it. Nothing intersects on Raya. And then they do the action plan of nurture. And they go to that, and all nurture does is make them every 8 weeks check in. What they're doing between that is maximizing priority alerts. That's why it's so key to get them to your site. So that way you're only calling these clients when they want to be called because they're actually actionable on the site versus just every, 5th day and you're calling them and just annoying them. So that's why I love about those systems. Added my trusted lender after Summit because I started in April, but I wanted to make sure from all my past things I had made mistakes with and exhausted that this was real deal. I went to Summit. I was already liking it, but once I went to Summit, got to hear it from all their mouths, got to see it, got to hear from other people. I called my lender and said, hey, you want to go in with me? And he doubled up with me, and we doubled, and then I've taken it on my own. He's still at that spin, but I believe in this so much. I think I went 4X since Summit on what I'm total in for Ylopo. And we're about to go again. I'm at my retargeting is a $3,600 budget. We're at 73%. Simple numbers, 35,000. I got about a month and a half here, and then we're going up to level 4 just to support the retargeting. We max out all these, whatever we can. And I mean, look at this, like G sold $5-6 the other day, $393 average cost per distributed lead. That's just freaking nuts.
And that is mostly all Google. So pretty
Wow.
crazy CPL for Google.
That's awesome. Switch to growth from Ylopo tools and recruiting. So I got back from Summit. Instead of trying to teach agents how to convert, I can follow my agents. Everything's controlled. They have to do their tasks every day. If they're caught up on their tasks, then they get put on. So right now we have Maria and Chris are both caught up. Once they're caught up with their task every day, which is just the Robbie T things, then they can they text or email me, and I throw them onto the system live. 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. I have no one on. It goes overflow either to my new agents who I'm just signing on, or to whoever's caught up and I trust can get it done by like 10 a.m. next morning. How everything works, max spend and focus is on remarketing. It's branding, 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 branding. And the thing about Ylopo is it's also branding the agent, and that's so huge for the value to add to them versus all these other companies. That's like their company. My company is my name. I don't even care. I just want them to think like correlate it with it. So my Zillow stuff, it gets remarketed instantly. It gets alerts instantly, just like the Ylopo stuff, just like the Google, or Ylopo is Google and Facebook. And then our DyVas and all the branding ads, we're doing our own stuff on, which I think we're going to get to. So this is on the branding ads. We have them maxing out, and then I take every one of those videos, and then I go in and I create and I post them myself onto Facebook. So you put it on Facebook, onto your personal Facebook, you tag your business or check into your business, it goes to the Facebook business page. Then you click over there, you boost it on there. I do $3 a day for 6 days. And I have checklists that you guys are gonna have on here. Then I go and I copy and paste that ad copy over to, I email it to myself so I can post it on Instagram. Instagram then reposts it again on Facebook and also on Twitter. Then I take that same ad copy, I go put it on YouTube and Google. It's a little bit of time. It's gonna be my future assistant's job, but I'm building the whole plan for them. But you guys can see 117,000 people now have seen the reach. This is this year. But the big one, we'll just take the last 30 days so you guys can see a quick shot. So last 30 days, 66,000 people reach, but 163,000 impressions. When you look at all these other things, $900 for that amount of people reach. It's insane. The thing that's happening with this is I'm finally in the first time of ever doing Facebook ads on my own. Because of the DyVas, I'm getting people actually interacting and messaging. And I never had that before. And also we had walk-ins. So before the lockdown, we had 2 walk-ins that they seriously knocked on my door. I thought it was someone dropping off a resale package or something for an agent. And they're like, hey, no, I saw you on Google or Facebook. And can we talk about buying a house? And now I'm in executive suites. Like how they found me, it blew my mind. So I don't do the 100 per database. I do 125 just because I don't want to leave any untouched. And so I rather max it. So that's why I do the 125. I kind of started playing with that about a month and a half ago, and it's shown better results. G, how does that work? I don't know. Are you allowed to do basically as much as you want per on remarketing? How's that
Yeah,
work?
you can do as much as you want. You know, basically, the way to think about it is we use guidances, right? 100 per thousand or something like that, because usually when we import a database, anywhere from 50 to 80% of those people will be found on Facebook with their email address, depending on where you got your leads from, right? If it's Remind data, you might only get 25%. I suspect, Kirby, with your leads, because you got so many of them from high quality sources like Zillow, that our match rate is very high. And so it makes sense to increase your spend per thousand. Gotcha. At a certain point, what we look for is the cost of generating someone coming to your site staying consistent? If it's staying consistent, then we can recommend you either spend more money, or we can say at least, you're spending, kind of appropriate amount. If we see it increase, we'll let you know, because that means that you're spending more money than you need to spend.
I think this shows that you guys pulled up this from the website, right? From the branded site?
Yeah. Well, this is not for the branded sites. This is your home search website. So this shows is from February to April, you went from a couple thousand page views, so people looking at properties, to now through the month of April, you're almost at 60,000 people per month 60,000 listings viewed on your website, which is pretty crazy.
Well, and I can say emphatically that is a business model right there. You've got an ecosystem of people using your tools, your branding, and that scales really, really well. So kudos to you, because this is your gold mine that you'll be able to dig off of for decades to come, I'm sure.
Now, this you guys, I'm just piecing them together. The YouTube, I never thought about this. This I built about a month ago. We have every single DyVa, every single Asta Room on there backlinked. So every single one of these have a backlink right back to the agent's site on our page. Let me turn the sound off there, sorry. And then I'm doing the same on Google business page. So if they click learn more here, it will go right back to it too.
Love it. That is so cool.
And then let's see here. DyVa. So like I talked about before, how much I spent on Facebook. Cost to make those videos. First off, I tried videos before with someone too, a production team and Fiverr people, and there's Elance and all these things, and the cost and quality was crap. And unless you spent a ton of money, $65 to have it click, 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 and done is nuts. And then you can go share it on all these platforms. So it takes all the actual hard and creative work out of it, and you're spending $65 just the same way as you'd put a lockbox on a house. So that's how I look at it. So for me, I do just listed and just sold, price reduced if it happens. I spend it no matter what. What's cool about Ylopo too is if you're just listed and it sells and goes in contract or whatever in like a couple days, it stops and you'll get it credits on your thing at the end of the month there. So it's not like you're spending 65 no matter what. But then the moment it switches to that next stage, I'm reputting that money back into it. If it's a bigger listing or smaller listing, so our pocket is kind of like 250 to 500. So if it's over 500,000 house or under 250 house, so it'll get a ton of investors, or it's going to get that luxury market, I spend 100 to 150 in 30 days. Production and creative would have cost thousands, and time's the biggest thing that I lost so much of on doing my own CRM and trying to do all my own branding crap before. Utilize the gift, go print out your brand everywhere in a professional display. With that, everybody, today, I bitched at them the other day because they want me to use their tours. I said, no, I have my own site, my own tours, and my rep. This is added now. So if you go into Zillow now, you go onto your listing, you can actually add the video, and our DyVa videos now are on Zillow. I don't know where, oh, right. Well, I don't know where they're going to put it. This just happened. I just got emailed today. So before they were only allowing their proprietary videos. As of today, I just got emailed, and now you can put your video on Zillow.
I think it's the bottom left-hand corner. Yeah.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah, it's at the bottom of that page.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bam. There's DyVa on Zillow. Okay. Let me pause that. Cut your time drastically. Branding's a long game. That's one thing I have learned. I'm only in this business because I've always played long game, even during slumps. So this cuts the time dramatically to achieve monetary results. I saw the monetary results the moment I went to Ylopo with my past Zillow. That's where all the leads I'm collecting now, which are top of funnel, a lot of these just like other sources, with the tools of Ylopo, I know it's going to be a gold mine 4 to 6 years out. Same way as what Zillow stuff that hadn't been touched by agents of mine sometimes for 3 years past. Once I imported them, now they're buying again. Syndicate all new listings and just sold, put them everywhere. We kind of looked at, we went through this. So post and boost yourself. It's 10x results. I mean, you can see the money there. It's crazy. And it's so easy. It's click, 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 click. And I don't do huge amounts of those. I do $3, 6 days, $3, 6 days. As long as we keep moving product, it's going to keep showing. And the thing that's huge about the boosting on your own is our ads with Ylopo, our retargeting is to our database. Everything that I'm doing here with Instagram, with Facebook, any of the other promotions is shotgun blast to the city of Las Vegas. And so it's collecting other people into my site, walk-ins and stuff like that aren't in my database yet, but they will become part of the database. So it's able to expand your market with clicks. These are my little list. I have them up here too. They look, but once I get a listing agreement signed, agent sends it to me. I upload it into, they have to upload it into our system, which is our compliance. I ordered the Pix box sign, then I order we go get the 3D tour from Master Room. We do the DyVa. I go and do the branded virtual tour. Then I take the virtual tour, the branded one, because it's full length, and I post it on Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube. This is like my checklist. 3D tour takes a couple of days for them to touch it up and do the dollhouse. And then we make a single property site, which looks like this. And this is on my website. So any of my listings, you go team listings. Aaron did a training on this, or I think G did. One of you guys did, is about a month ago. And so we grab one of these homes. And in here, make sure you get a high res picture for here. Otherwise they'll pull MLS one and expand it. And support's awesome. Any questions or anything you're trying to do on this stuff, there's already stuff in the Ylopo like questionnaire. What do you guys call that? Academy? No.
Our knowledge base. Yep.
Knowledge base, yeah. Like any question you have, you go type in there how to put a banner on your site up here. It's there. This is an announcement bar. And so this is the Ask Room then, and they can see everything. And it's not bringing up my computer now, but I also have the virtual tour, the full one, pictures, and then.
Kirby, are you okay with anyone watching this private Facebook messaging you?
Oh yeah, 100%, yeah.
Okay, that's really generous of you. I really, really sincerely thankful about that. Guys, we're getting a lot of questions, really specific questions. Obviously, we're limited in time, a lot to go through here. Kirby's so generous. Private Facebook message him. Please, go to your account manager first, support@ylopo.com for general stuff. How do I do this? How do I do this? But you can also private Facebook message Kirby. Kirby, I'm sure you could probably have a whole coaching business with our clients if you wanted.
I know. Yeah, scary, but yes. I'd love it though. I think your idea that you mentioned before, I think would be great.
Yes, that is a very.
Maybe we should have like a raffle who I get to take under on. They do a poll or something. I don't know how you guys.
Yeah, guys, we came up with a crazy reality show idea, Barry, where we have like our top coaches, like Ylopo professors, like Kirby Scofield, and they each adopt a bunch of Ylopo clients who might be struggling a bit, and then we have this reality game show of who can take those struggling clients to the next level. So, anyway, go ahead. I'm derailing.
I would totally be game.
Let's go. Back to the meat of it.
But just before he does keep going, these checklists are available for everyone on ylopo.com/Kirby, Kirby.
Yeah, I got my own Ylopo domain.
Kirby, do you have a lender partner?
Yeah, it's Dustin Bookman with Loan Mortgage. He should be on one of my. Yep.
Awesome.
Right
So any advice for people out there in terms of what they would put together to show a potential lender partner and why the lender partner? And guys, by the way, let's get some more HomeBot stuff in there. We've got HomeBot webinar on Thursday. Do not miss it.
Oh, yeah.
It takes the value prop to your lender to the next level. Okay.
It's funny you say that. So HomeBot, I showed Dustin's owner, Steve Loan. I showed him what Loan Mortgage, HomeBot, and kind of what it was. He trusted me, and we've been working together 10 years. And so I approached him only once we already were sending business, but he takes care of my clients. But then when I saw HomeBot, and what's the guy's name that's a HomeBot that you guys what's his name? Ernie. So when you guys did that presentation, I'd never seen it before. And it was mind blowing. I'm like, oh shit, now I have value I can add to Steve and his side of the business. First just saying, hey, give me some co-marketing money. And so that was part of my pitch, was the HomeBot. And so that's why I'm very excited for them once that comes in. And a huge thing with your guys' site too, like came instant, was the ability to have him his own section. I love how they put on the thing. Like, it's great. And you guys also, as far as support and doing stuff, we just added a property management section.
Awesome. Good stuff.
So these are my lists. They are on there, guys. The Ylopo/Kirby. I'm changing these constantly. So no, these are just in Google Docs. And as I get an idea, I just go in and change it. Like how for closed deals, I make sure that I have Google reviews and stuff like that. I didn't know any of that stuff until Aaron was teaching it on one of these webinars, and I try to do all of them. If I miss it, I at least sign up for it, and then I go watch it afterwards when I can. And with that, I've never had the Google or YouTube side, so I think that's like a huge new thing. And I know too, from the thing, YouTube's like another phase coming in the future, right?
It is.
You walked out for a second. Bathroom break.
So follow up first without any systems in place. So if you have all these leads coming in, unless you have Raya's triggered right, and unless you have a follow-up and action system with your team, unless you hold them accountable, and they have to hold themselves accountable, it just is kind of like throwing everything at whatever and hoping whatever Raya converts. So you can have huge results from either doing Robbie T system or Barry's masterclass, and then implementing that into your follow boss. With us, you guys can see this is nuts. We're 922 leads in the last 30 days.
Whoa.
But because of our systems and action plans and accountability, we've had 5,300 calls, 72, a lot more emails now because a lot of people are doing emails due to COVID, like just checking in and stuff. 3,400 texts. So it's bonkers.
Can you talk about call, email, text? How do you view each? And
so text is number one right now. We know that's why Raya is so huge, because it hits. A person can only do so much versus when they call and do their task, how it hits the first task. And so then Raya's still talking. We make them, the moment they start interacting with Raya, hop in. And that way it doesn't get weird. But
if your agents were only allowed to do one thing, call, email, text, what would it be?
I'm a caller.
Okay.
But only because I have automatic systems that text.
Got it.
I have Raya. So,
okay.
and they, but I think text gets the best text. They say it gets the best response no matter what. I just think calling still too, because like if you go in here,
text is number one, guys. Write it down.
Yeah, the moment they call, they're sending a text one, which they go in and it's one of those templates that we built out, and so they leave voicemail and template. Next one, template. Everything is programmed for what they do.
And I would say that texting surfaces the people that you should call faster than just calling everybody.
Yeah.
And that's just a great way to manage it. And a lot of people are asking about Robbie Tees. He's very active in YSD, really sharp guy, real estate coach. You can ping him on Facebook. He's always been really open with the community. And the only reason I did the masterclass that I did was to onboard you on how to sell Ylopo leads inside of your respective CRM. That's the goal. And as you have already noted, these old leads are coming back.
Yeah.
And unless you organize them, we can all get excited about it, right? The theory of old leads coming back excites everybody. But no, if you don't have it organized, you're not going to have it dialed in, because we're so used to being addicted to new leads that we forget to follow up with the old. And candidly, I'm more excited about the old coming back than I am the new coming in. I mean, you need both, but yeah. And so you got to have those systems dialed in.
Takeaway number 2, double down on remarketing and maximize the DyVa videos with consistent syndication. What do you mean by that, Kirby?
So remarketing, we've already talked about, but maximize DyVa. So everything that you can do with that DyVa, it's worth the $65 for you to be able to take that video and go put it on all your different sites. So Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google, YouTube, and you're just shotgun blasting, branding the crap out of yourself with a 3-click video. Like how much time it takes us. 3 clicks, launch, and then you go post it on everything. Big thing too is watch in the success committee, Robbie and Barry, everybody's always posting so much stuff on ad copy and stuff like that. And so I always try to pay attention as much as I can, because ad copy is huge to go with your videos too. And then always backlink. Number one thing with your DyVa videos, they're going to play the video because we're downloading it. Make sure that every post you have your agent branded like search site, like the actual house. So they click on it and it goes back. And yeah, the cool quote Aaron found, it's execution that matters, never the idea. And totally 100% believe in that.
Yeah, that's what really attracted me to your story was the fact you're at Summit and you just took so many notes. But I think a lot of people took notes, but I haven't seen anyone execute as intensely and as aggressively as you have. And I just wanted everyone to see what that actually looks like once it's done. So
it's got great results. I felt fully confident in it. You guys found how to do what I was trying to do forever. And now I just have to do the easy part of before, where I'd go buy something. It's basically just buying a DyVa, and then you go post it, and I'm not paying a Hootsuite or some company or a social media manager to go post all this crap. It doesn't take that long if you get a system down with those checklists. And then my next stage, once we can fully reopen, is hiring. I've never had an assistant, like a real assistant. I'm going to hire someone, and those sheets are all going to be their job. And so I'm building the job out from that. And then that takes my time back. And then I think next after that would be coaching, or not coaching, but training, getting better at it. with my agents so I can grow bigger.
Awesome. Yeah, we're giving you a ton of tools, and there's new stuff coming out all the time, right? But in many ways, you've got to go to us, right? We've got realtors in residence that are amazing. We've got Barry, we've got Levia, we've got Laura, we've got incredible Ylopo professors like Kirby Scofield, who is in the weeds with our system every day. We've got Kiwi, who is bringing these folks to the fore. You need to go to it. You need to be a squeaky wheel, okay? It's not going to just happen on its own, right? You need to know who your account manager is. You need to be proactive with them. You need to be emailing support@ylopo.com. You need to be on the Ylopo Success Community. Kirby said it. He's on the Ylopo Success Community. He never takes his eyes off it because he never knows when someone from the community is going to just drop some incredible new thing that they're doing with Ylopo. You've got to be on the Ylopo Success Community. Guys, I've got a lot of people who are texting me like, oh, there was a webinar today, and how do I get on the webinar? Guys, there's an events page. There's literally an events page. You've got to scroll through the whole events page. There's a link, right? It's there, okay? And you've got to go after it. And if you can't go after it, like, ask us, and we're going to help you. Kiwi is always there, right? We're all there. Barry's always there. So it's ultimately your responsibility. But we're trying to take our coaching, training, education to the next level to match all the tech that G and his team keep producing. Let's keep going.
Cool. So that's the whole, what do you guys want to do, the question answers?
Yeah. So we've got a lot of questions and Q&A. So Barry, Kiwi, you guys want to start asking Kirby some questions that are from the field here?
One great question, which came from what Kirby is talking about, was, is it okay to invite our lender or prospect lenders to the HomeBot webinar on Thursday? Howard?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do. So
a lot of questions on your
Kirby,
team.
James could ask your new agents, do they download their contacts into your database? Or
100%. It's so that's part of my value proposition to, so a new agent to me, but they already had their own book of business. In my deck, I go, what do you have? You got 500 people, you got 100 people, it's on a CSV, and I tell them, I'm going to pay for the rebranding, retargeting on your sphere. And that's part of the value of my split.
Got it. And can you talk about, you don't have to, but can you talk about your splits? And
Oh yeah, I'm 100% fair. Yeah. I keep everybody the same. So we're on a tiered split. Basically it's a 70%, 75, 80. So up to 100,000 in GCI, you're at 70%, but you give a 30% referral fee to the company for a lead. So on your self-gen, you're 70-30. If you get a lead, then it ends up netting out to 49%. Once you hit 100,000, 100 to 150,000, you're at, ends up being 52.5% on leads and 75% on self-gen. And then once you hit to 150,000 plus in GCI in the calendar year, then it goes to 56% and 80.
Again, guys, you can private Facebook message. Is not something that I think Kirby should necessarily post on the success community, but private Facebook message him. He'll send you that, I'm sure. Daryl W. wanted to know, like, how many pendings a month do you guys normally have?
Our normal before the thing got locked down was we're 20. We're pushing up to about 20, or no, 20, but then 20 listings. So about 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
Richard M. wants to know, is there a step-by-step for backlinking?
Like the little links that I do on each thing? Like, yeah, I guess we'll just do one.
Okay, nice.
Let me log in here. So let's go pull one of our listings.
I'm not seeing your screen. Kirby.
Oh, let me share it. Sorry.
There was another question, Kirby, which was, can you guys do a follow-up step-by-step video? This is for you, Kiwi. Follow-up step-by-step video showing exactly how Kirby reposts videos to YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and boosting, tagging, etc. That would be pretty awesome. Maybe a Loom video that you and or Kirby can do, and we can post it in the Ylopo Success community.
So I'm going to do Bobby's. So this is his listing, so I can show how you do it on one of your agents. I just copy the MLS there. Let's go to close some of these out.
The quick question was, are you using Bitly, the URL shortener for backlinking, or a live site URL?
No, I just do the thing because I like how it shows like the listing ID and it says our name.
You do the full. Okay.
Yeah, so like I go Bobby Singh, plug it in. And then all I do is once I go in here, this will bring it up in Outlook. I just take this little section right here. And then that is when I'm in Facebook. If I was gonna go do a new one, I'm just gonna, I paste this first so I don't lose it. I write my ad copy, congrats, you know, Bobby, throw them in there, put some stuff on it. Usually I'll copy and paste, like if the new listing, I'll copy and paste just his, it's going slow because Zoom.
That's
His stuff.
great. You're actually taking the time to actually do the subdomain for each agent. You're not just
Yes.
taking it from your regular search site. You're going, okay, I know this property is assigned to this agent on my team. I'm going to make sure that his subdomain is used for the linking so that any leads generated from all of these videos will end up going back to Bobby.
Correct. And I give that's to them. So if they get that, that ends up being a sphere because he's the one that got the listing. I'm the one getting to brand it. So I'm all about that. Because I didn't get it when it's their own sphere one, because the ones that are my own are different. They go under me, but then they're co-list agent. And so I do all those with the like team kind of listings, but any of their own, we're branding them. And that's the value to add to my agents so that they have their own stuff. Like this one here is Aaron's. So it says, this home is one of the sickest lots, no HOA, under HOA limit, check it out. So this was the same exact ad copy I had on Facebook, and you tag your business though, so it goes to that page too. And then on Instagram, when you post this, you'll be able to share it to Twitter and Facebook business page too. And so it's brand them. So anyone goes in there, first off, it's to him, they're gonna see, but if they actually, the link's there to them too.
So Kirby, do you track, someone was asking about sort of cost per, we always talk about cost per click and cost per lead. Do you track sort of cost per close and how, let's say, Ylopo has stacked up with other, lead sources and stuff?
Yeah, the difference with like Ylopo and everything else is Ylopo helps all your other lead sources. So like our cost per lead is a certain price. So say it's $5, whatever we just saw, $4. I double that with the platform fee, so say $8. But then my cost per lead on like Zillow right now is freaking, let's see here. I just did it just this morning, actually. So I track it here.
Still not seeing your screen again.
Oh, crap. I keep doing that. So I know they have their cost, when you're in your Zillow and you're watching it. I track here, but you can look, nothing's $8 a lead at all. So and the quality, this is still just someone. Now the difference was, they're already on house looking at a house, but if they're on my site, they came back 10 times. They're looking at the house just as much on my site as theirs. So at $8 versus $90 all day long.
Yeah, it's also, we've talked about, guys, if you want eventually to build an asset that will forever produce income, you want to build your database. You cannot cost effectively build your database with portal leads, but you can get 10, 20, in some markets, 40 leads for every one portal lead. So over time, you're going to build up a 25,000 lead database, a 50,000 lead database, which is forever going to produce income, right? And now we've got, so there's a patience game, but now we've got all the remarketing, all that kind of stuff.
I heard that from you guys when you interviewed Robert Slack, and he said, he's tired. I mean, that guy, I think at the summit, he said he pays $700,000 a month to realtor.com. Holy shit. So sorry, but he was saying he was at 500 something thousand there. He's going to get to $1 million and then cut off the portals because then he's self-contained. And I love that.
Awesome. There's a lot of thanks in the chat, by the way, Kirby. There's a lot of thanks from the community for your sharing today. You're bringing,
thank you.
bringing the value. You are officially hereby ordained as a Ylopo professor. Yes, the most amazing awards in the whole universe. But a lot of thank yous from us and from everyone else. And you're not going anywhere, man. You're in the Ylopo Success community. You can be reached through Facebook. We're going to be doing more stuff with you for sure. You know, we all of our boats rise together, and you know, you have a spirit of giving, and I'm a karma guy, so I know there's great things that are coming back to you as well, Kirby.
Thanks, man. Thank you guys for everything that you guys do.
Awesome. Anything? Oh, look at Kiwi with a
Thanks for
professor
that.
hat. Awesome. All right, guys, we're right on the hour. Are we good?
We're good.
This was amazing. Thank you so much. Thanks, Kiwi, for always driving this stuff, putting it all together. G for all the tech. Barry for leading the charge of the professors and the realtors in residence. Thank you to all the community and everyone who showed up. We love you guys.
Thank you, Hedda, for introducing me to Ylopo.
Thank you, Head Up.
Thank you.
See you guys.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.